Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today we'll be taking a look at the Seiko SKX007K2. Recently re-added one of these to my collection. I actually had one of these about 3 years ago, and I sold it off, but now I got one back. But before getting on to this review, I want to let you guys know where I actually got this watch from. So I got this watch from Buyee. Now Buyee is a Japanese proxy service, which basically lets people from overseas buy Japanese products, such as JDM Seikos, tons of those on Amazon Japan, sites like Rakuten, and Yahoo Auctions. And there's a lot of watches overseas that you really can't get if you're in the USA, but if you use Buyee's service, which is buyee.japan, link down in the description below, you can basically have them ship it. They actually buy the product for you, and it ships to their warehouse, and then they ship it to you through EMS, which took like 2 days to get to me. So I got a great deal on the Seiko SKX. It was like $180, which is usually like $220 in the USA. So it was really quite a great deal. The shipping was really quick. All in all, it took 4 business days, and I had my product at my house. So it's definitely a great way to get products. They also have tons of limited edition G-Shocks, Japanese anime figures, whiskey, pretty much anything you can name. So here is the SKX007. Most of you guys are probably very familiar with this watch. It's a very iconic watch in its own way. It has a lot of history in the lineage, I would say, of Seiko dive watches. There's a lot of Seiko dive watches before this watch, and this is kind of what it has, come up to, even though there are much more modern divers than the SKX. The SKX was actually introduced a few years ago, more than a few years, back in the late 1990s, I believe. But anyway, getting into this watch, we are looking at a 42.5 millimeter diameter. So it is bigger than your average 40 millimeter watch, but it really doesn't wear that big considering we have a 46 millimeter lug-to-lug width, which is really quite nice, especially for a dive watch. It really does wear quite compact on the wrist. Now in terms of the actual thickness of the watch, we are looking at 13.25 millimeters. As you can see, the case is comprised of complete 316L stainless steel all around. Does have some high polished surfaces on the side, and then the lug tops are brushed. Get you a better look here. The finishing is pretty good. It's like a mirror-like finish in a very nice high polish. Nice contrast here between the polished and the brushed lug tops. I do like that. The coin-edged bezel is polished on the sides as well, and your crown, which is sterile, is also highly polished. Now the lug width here is 22 millimeters, which is pretty standard for a 42 millimeter watch. Now this watch is ISO 6425 rated, which is really good, especially for the price point of $200 and below you can get when you buy this watch. I mean, you're getting a 200 meter water resistant watch with an ISO rating, which is pretty good. Now in terms of some other specifications, of course we have a screw down crown, a screw down case back. We have a 120 click unidirectional rotating bezel, which is decent. As you can see here, you get some nice clicking action here. Very minimal backplay, if any. And as you can see there, I think this one actually does line up. There are some quality control issues with some of them. That's just Seiko, though. Everybody knows that. Now, the crystal on this watch has nice chamfered sides, as you can see here. It's actually a Hardlex crystal. Now that's Seiko's own proprietary crystal. It's basically a hardened mineral crystal. I would say it does pick up some smudges quite easily, and it is a bit softer than something like sapphire. Now, wonder what's inside this watch. Well, we do get the Seiko 7S26 automatic movement. Now this movement is a bit outdated. The newer movement, the upgraded movement, is the 4R36 or R35. That one does contain hand winding and hacking. This movement itself does not contain hand winding and hacking, but it's a pretty reliable movement. It works. It does have a 41-hour power reserve. It does contain 21 joules. It does beat at a lower rate than something like an ETA. It beats at 21,600 beats per hour. So it's it's a robust, tough movement. You're not really going to have any issues with it. Accuracy, you can probably expect about plus 15 seconds a day and something like this. It's a $200 dive watch, and you do get a lot for your money in terms of the actual construction, finishing, and stuff like that. And also, this is an older model, so, the 7S26 went in a lot of their older models. Now, taking a look at the bracelet. So we have a 22 millimeter Jubilee style bracelet. Most of you are pretty familiar with this bracelet. Nice little signed clasp here, which is flip open. Pretty standard stamped clasp here, which folds over. You do get a nice amount of micro adjustments, as you can see here. Now they are pretty spaced, so you do get a lot of room for adjustment there. It is held in by pins, so you will have to hammer those out. But the bracelet itself, most of you guys know, it's quite raggedy, but no solid end links here, but it does match up quite nicely here. But it is quite comfortable on the wrist, I must say. But, you know, a lot of people change out for the Super Jubilee bracelets or the Super Oyster bracelets from Strap Code. And that seems to be a quite, you know, pretty popular option nowadays. And, you know, hey, if you don't like this bracelet, I understand it. There's always options. I actually threw this on a silicone strap earlier and it was looking really nice. There's a lot of strap options. A NATO strap also looks great on the SKX. Now in terms of lume, we do get a lot of Seiko LumiBrite, as you can see on the triangle here, the pip at 12, and all of the markers. And I want to get you guys a lume shot before I go through the basic functions of the actual movement. And there is Seiko's famous LumiBrite, super bright, lasts for a long time, will last the night. And you know, there's no complaining about the lume on Seiko watches. Can't really beat it, definitely brighter than my Submariner. Which I'm actually wearing right now. It's just really bright. It's very good lume. Everybody knows it. No problems whatsoever. Now this watch does feature a screw down crown, which does have integrated crown guards, as you can see there. The crown is pretty protected, I must say. And it is located at the 4 o'clock position, like a lot of different Seiko watches. And it is pretty easy to grip on the SKX. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how this watch actually functions. So you pop it out right there, you unscrew it. Now I'm going to pull out one position. As you can see, we get a Spanish wheel here with Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, days of the week. You go the other way, you get your date. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, you know, very usable. Now the final position is your time set position, as you can see here. There is no hacking, this is continuous. And it's pretty much as simple as that. I'm going to go ahead and screw this back down, and that's it. So a very simple watch to use. Definitely something good for someone getting into automatic watches as well. You know, but this watch ranges. You know, some people have tons of luxury watches and they have one of these in the collection as well. Some people only have a Seiko SKX, some people have 10 of them. It's a really popular watch and I can see why. Now heading to the case back, I did not remove the sticker because I want to keep it mint. But as you can see, we get that famous Seiko wave there. It is screwed down, completely polished, and does state some specifications as well. Here's how the watch looks on my 6.5-inch wrist. Now it is 42.5 millimeters, but it fits just perfect across. It rides nice on the wrist there. As you can see, some nice grip on that coin-edged bezel. And all around, it looks pretty good. There's the clasp there, the Seiko clasp. It looks pretty nice. I like how they put Seiko here. And the flip open is definitely secure. I think that's fine. And yeah, all around, you know, it's a great looking dive watch. If you're looking to spend $200 and want a 200-meter dive watch, you can take actually diving, swimming, showering, pretty much anything. And, you know, a very tough, robust movement. I think the SKX could be for you. Once again, I did get this from Out Buyee Japan. I will drop a link in the description below. They have great prices direct from Japan. And I think it's a great way to get one of these watches. So let me know what you guys think of the SKX. Do you have an SKX? You probably do. A lot of you guys I know have Seiko SKXs. And yeah, welcome this one to the Watch Addict family. So definitely hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you do not miss another Watch Addict upload. Also guys, check out watchaddictchannel.com. That's my blog. There's a ton of stuff on there you need to check out. Also at Watch Addict Channel on Instagram. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.